in Fayetteville, 1550 East Zion Road, or in North Little Rock at 314 Maple Street. Flyway Craft Beer, also available in restaurants and stores everywhere.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
We are possibly entering what could be a golden age in Razorback athletics.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, mostly cloudy sky. There's a chance of seeing some showers and thunderstorms across the south. Our high temperatures today in the low to mid 60s. Showers, a chance of thunderstorms tonight, and overnight low will drop down in the low to mid 50s. And we could see some periods of heavier rain. Showers with occasional thunderstorms Saturday, high on Saturday, mid to upper 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
Arkansas is special. Our people are honest and hardworking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is pure Arkansas. We were raised here, we live here, and we're straight shooters. Unfortunately, out-of-state lawyers who care nothing about Arkansas are advertising for your legal business. They don't understand that you don't hand Arkansans a pile of cow dung and try to tell us it's a rose. Don't be just a number. Call the Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
Are you ready to build your company's dream team? Just like in sports, finding skilled players is essential for success. With Robert Half's winning combination of specialized recruiting professionals and award-winning AI, we'll help you find the MVPs and key role players who will have you hanging banners in the rafters. Because in business, it's all about having the experienced team on your side. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Wake up, it's time to go. Tell me in time. ESPN Arkansas Field Show. Morning Rush. Morning Rush. Sports talk, hit the ground running. Last in news, always stunning.
Finally Friday. How you feeling? I think it's been a long week for all of us. Not just around the natural state, not just here in ESPN Arkansas country, but I think border to border. Particularly for us, with the rain and the thunderstorms that I think kept some of us up all night long earlier in the week, and then election night. Man, I'm going to tell you, I hadn't had nearly enough shut-eye this week, and I am glad the weekend is here. Tommy Kraft here in the big chair today. Ty is off. He has gone to Chicago and to South Bend, Indiana, to see Notre Dame and Florida State this weekend. So he's enjoying a little time away here on this bye weekend. And Clay Henry joins us, who has got his bags packed. I don't think he's got his guns loaded yet, but he's got his guns packed, and he is headed to deer camp. And we're going to talk to Clay in just a second. That's where we begin. Brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Maybe a lot of you are pulling your quality camper from Wheels RV, headed to deer camp right now as you're listening in. If you've got that drafty old trailer that you've had for years and you're ready for an upgrade, see Lee J and Chris and their crew and let them get you upgraded for the rest of deer season at Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. Did you get enough sleep this week, Clay? Because I feel like I'm running a quart low between staying up and watching the results late Tuesday night, between the storms that came through. I'm running about a quart and a half low this week.
I'm going to explain something to you, and you're not old enough. How old are you, Tommy? Are you 50?
I'll be 40. Thank you. I'll be 49 next month. I'm 48.
Yeah, okay.
I'm hanging on.
You're not there yet. So somewhere between 60 and 65,
yeah,
you just don't sleep. And you know, 5 or 6 hours is kind of it. And you might get a power nap. I know Coach Broyles was the first one to explain power naps to me because I've Donita Ritchie has said the door's open going in, but wake him up.
Yeah.
And, you know, he'd take these little power naps for about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I do some of that now, and I don't mean to, but if I sit down in my recliner, you know, in the early afternoon after kind of taking care of my chores and everything or doing my writing, all at once it's like 15 minutes later. But so back to your question, did I sleep much this week? Probably about the same as always, but there was a lot of stress this week in the storms and the tornado watches and all. You know,
you had like 10 inches of rain up there on the north.
At least 10 inches. I mean, most of us that have gauges, we empty them at 5 inches, and so you're not really sure. Did you empty it right when it filled up, or did it?
Do you
fill
have a
up
rain gauge? Do you go out?
Yeah.
You mark the rain. All right. I'm not surprised by that.
And it can be, you know, if you empty it twice, it might be 12 inches. You know, like you might have been an inch over both times. You don't do rain gauges.
I don't have a rain gauge. No, I don't. I have a phone that'll tell me how much it rained. Is what I've got. So
yeah, and you need to empty them because they're plastic, and if in the wintertime they freeze and bust. I've done that a couple of times.
So you're packed and ready for deer camp.
Yeah.
You sent me a note before the show. Hey, when the last syllable is spoken this morning, I'm out the door. I'm gone. And
I will put up the Comrex. I will carefully stow your equipment. That enables me to sound like I'm in the studio with you. I'm not. And then all my stuff is ready. My truck is pointed to South Phillips County Whiskey Shoot Hunting Club. It's also referred to as the old Blyville Hunting Club. It's not close to Blyville, but some Blyville men founded in the 30s. Tommy, it's got a clubhouse, which I don't stay in. I stay in a double wide, which is nicer. There's about 16 beds in the clubhouse. It was built in the 30s with prison labor, and it's been redone, you know, probably several times. But there'll be a lot of guests that are in that area, and but I look forward to it. My two college roommates, Leo Crafton and Hal Honeycutt, you know, have been members at Whiskey Shoot forever and ever. I remember right at just about the time we got out of college is when they got their membership. So they've been going there and inviting me every year. We do there's the deer camp, this opening weekend and then sometime during duck season they have what they call duck camp, and it's real similar.
Yeah. I want to get to some of the best parts of deer camp. It's not always finding that big Boone and Crockett buck that you've been tracking for months. We'll get to some of that. But right now, it's time for our opening drive here on a Friday edition of the Morning Rush.
Fires, caught, chase. They try to chase him down, and they cannot. Touchdown. Burrow going deep, getting free. Chase, look at this. Just like that. And Chase is going to, strut to the 1 yard line. Crowd doesn't like that. Chase lined up to the right side. Looks that way. Throws that way. Caught. Chase. What a night. Touchdown.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
Well, you heard the highlights, Bengals and Ravens last night. I'll admit, I'm horrible about remembering the game on Prime, and unless it's the Cowboys or a game I really want to watch, I don't always remember it's there. But the Ravens beat the Bengals 35-34 in a thriller. Joe Burrow, 34-56. Clay had 428 yards and 4 touchdowns in the outing, but it was the Ravens with the win 35-34. Chase had 11 receptions, 264 yards, and 3 touchdowns last night in a thriller on streaming TV. Did you stream the game last night?
I did not.
I didn't either.
Yeah. So, no, I did not. Well, I tell you what, Tommy, talking about deer camp, I'm looking out my window. There's an 8-point standing 5 feet from my dining room window.
Make Jean Ann happy. Just go ahead and open the window slowly and then get that gun ready. And no one's ever shot a deer from their kitchen window in Arkansas. Surely never that's happened. But
yeah.
All right, so that was one thing here on our opening drive. High school football, there were probably a few games around the state. A lot of, particularly in South and East Arkansas, they'll play on Thursday nights in Week 10. So that nobody's stuck at school. A lot of some schools, it's pretty sparse on attendance today as everybody heads to deer camp. There will be a full slate of games around the state tonight. Northwest Arkansas loaded up with rivalry games, one of those being Fayetteville and Harbor playing tonight. Bentonville plays Bentonville West in some interesting games that will have impact on the seeding, Clay, in the playoffs that begin next week.
Yeah, this is a fun time of year for high school football. I mean, there'll be some people that have some buys, and that's important in this deal. But yeah, I'll be sometime tonight. From deer camp, I'll open up and look at all the scores. I'll be looking at the game that you're working.
There's a big game in Central Arkansas tonight. Is Conway and Bryant, 2 9-0 teams, two teams that are not only squaring off for the 7A Central number 1 seed in the conference championship, but I think in some ways people want to know who the best team in the state is. And this game, and I think some also consider Greenwood in that conversation, will go a long ways, at least for now, deciding who comes out of the regular season maybe with that. So that's
those
a big one tonight that people are watching.
They're in the same classification?
Yeah.
They might play again, right?
No, well, Bryant and Conway could. Yeah, they could.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Greenwood is not in their class. But
correct. They're in 6A.
But these two teams could play again. Yeah. I don't know how the bracket's set up, whether it would be in the finals or not.
Yeah, it would have to be because one's going to be the 1 seed and the other would be the 2, so they'll be
opposite sides. Yeah. Well, they're likely to play again in the stadium.
Well, Bentonville would like to have something to say about that. So, I mean, some interesting scenarios and matchups. Teams earning buys tonight. Some will earn home field advantage throughout. So I think in our opening drive, it's correct to point out high school football because it's rivalry week in a lot of places. The game you just circle at the beginning of the year is on the schedule tonight for a lot of folks as well. So that's the opening drive. It's brought to you by First Financial Mortgage. See our friends Ethan and Emily over there. They helped Ty get his mortgage all set. They've been a company that for over 10 years, or for over 90 years, Ethan's been with the company 10 years, but for 90 years, they've been in the mortgage business and helping families just like yours. Ty had a great experience with First Financial Mortgage. They have a 5.0 rating on Google. You don't just get one of those by accident. That means you're satisfying your customers, you're making the process easy and convenient, and you're making it hassle-free. Ethan's one of the best guys you'll meet. I know Ethan. Ty knows Ethan. He's just a super solid dude, and you are going to find a great experience when you're dealing with Ethan Adamson. So give them a call, 479-782-9300, 479-782-9300, or online at ffb1.com. That's ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage is in the business of you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. I know I can just imagine a lot of people are rolling down I-40 or 49 or 412 or the different byways in Arkansas, headed down to the Ouachitas and, pulling a trailer. I can see it now, Clay. Couple four-wheelers on the trailer, some supplies, maybe a ground blind, one of those good box blinds. I mean, there's going to be a
Or
lot of
Yetis.
Yetis strapped down to everything. I mean, that's what Arkansas roadways are going to look like today.
Yeah, I'll be kind of zigzagging parallel to the White River all the way down to South Phillips County. And those 2-lane roads, that's what I'm going to see. You're exact. Not just on the interstate, but there's people going north-south too.
Yeah, it'll be a slow go today, so leave yourself some extra time.
You
Let's bring Sean in from the Fence Man. Sean, I can imagine that's why you didn't join us in studio today. You're probably getting ready for deer camp at some point.
Gentlemen, I used to be a big-time hunter, but now I have changed my passion to fishing. So I fish as long as the water ain't frozen, I'm fishing.
Well, that's the good thing about fishing this time of the year. You get the lake or Clay's favorite honey hole to yourself because a lot of other sportsmen are headed to the woods, so it makes the waterways a lot less crowded.
Yes, and the areas that we hunt or we used to hunt now, I don't know. I know it's so popular and it's just so busy. There's so many people. It's just like you can't find a place to hunt where you're just by yourself. You see somebody walking through the woods, so it's taken a lot of joy away from it for me. So
yeah, I was listening to Trey Reed. I guess it was yesterday.
Yeah,
with you guys, and just their estimates say 300,000 hunters will be in deer stands tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it's the biggest
300,000.
Biggest sporting day of the year.
10% of our state.
Yeah, unbelievable. All right, let's get to it. It's our Fence Man Friday picks as we head in to the first weekend of Modern Gun and the second weekend of November. It's our Fence Man Friday picks. Huh? Yep, and Christian properly reminds me, we got to remember, guys, what we did right and what we did wrong last week.
All right, let's go to Auburn first. Guys, surprisingly, Auburn is a 7-point favorite at home against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt coming off an emotional loss to Texas. Tommy, does Vanderbilt cover as a road 7-point dog this weekend?
Yes. I would stay on the Vandy train until proven otherwise.
Choo-choo! I'm staying on Vandy too, Sean.
I'm with you guys. I think they should have won last week, but Auburn doesn't have what it takes.
Florida against Georgia, world's largest cocktail party. Tommy, Georgia's a 15-point favorite. I think the Bulldogs blow out the Gators this weekend. I'm surprised Napier's not fired. This does not help him out at all, though. I got Georgia big in this one.
Hunker down, you hairy dogs. Georgia.
Florida's not doing well at all. So Georgia's got this one.
All right, this is a big one. South Carolina hosting A&M. South Carolina is a 3-point home underdog. This is not going to be an easy test for Mike Elko and company. I'm going to take South Carolina to cover and outright win this game.
Wow.
I'm going to go with my quarterback. He'll put Reed in. A&M's got this hands down.
Give me the road Aggies.
Kentucky going to Knoxville to take on the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee is a 17.5-point favorite. Tommy, I've got Tennessee covering. Kentucky's bad.
How many points?
17.5.
Give me Kentucky.
What do you think, Sean? You got one on the blue, one on the orange.
I'm going to go with Tommy. 17 points is a lot. I think Kentucky will keep it within 17.
Good pick.
Arkansas is currently a 7.5-point underdog against Ole Miss. I've said all week, I think it's a 3-point win for Arkansas. I think this is going to be a close game. I have Arkansas in covering and winning.
I think it will be a close game. I'm not as confident about the outcome as you are, but give me the Hogs and the points. I knew better.
7.5-point underdogs. Hogs at home, Sean.
I'm taking the Hogs and the point.
Clay, are you impressed?
Well, the part that I thought about earlier this week and listening to a couple of the segments, and Ty's been on this train for a while, and hey, none of us have crystal balls, and I mean, it's like I'd listen to it and think, well, maybe he's on to something. That he's got Lane Kiffin being at Florida next year, and Scott Strickland announced that hey, they're sticking with Napier. I mean, I think he said that knowing that Napier's got his third-team quarterback for the rest of the season, and no matter what happens, they're not going to make a change. Yeah. And part of it, and I've got some people that I know in the Florida administration, they don't have the money to pay him off, and they need some things in their football facilities that they're way behind. And I'm not talking about the stadium. I'm talking about all the other, the bells and whistles. And if they would fire him, they would pay him off. I think it's $22 million or something like that. And then they've got no money to fix the things that they would need to fix. Plus, this is what people just don't understand. We'll fire the coach and we'll pay him that money. Well, then you also have to pay the buyout for whoever you go to hire. Anyway, that's what kind of.
Let's come back to
when
that.
you watch the Florida game last week, you realize that Napier's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's a conversation I want to get to, kind of the broad strokes you made there. But let's get to it now. Our Fence Man Friday picks. Let's see if we can redeem ourselves this week.
Fenceman Friday Picks. Call the Fenceman for all kinds of fences, controlled access, and custom iron projects. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. We ain't afraid of no work.
All right, by God, let's see how much you believe in Florida, Clay. We'll start there. Florida at Texas. Texas laying 21.5. Now let's see how much you believe in Napier now.
Yeah, with the walk-on quarterback, Texas will roll.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Florida. Yeah.
Sean, Texas or Florida?
I'm sorry. I'm probably going to lose this one, but I can't. I'm not going with Texas. Forget it.
I get it.
Florida.
I understand.
Can't do it.
21.5 is a lot, but Clay, the fact that you got your third string quarterback,
and they put a lot into their last game, and that affects you. I'm talking about
Texas.
Florida.
I'm going Texas.
Yeah,
Texas 21.5.
Yeah, me too.
All right, one that I think a lot of us will have an eye on. Great afternoon game. 3 big games. That was the first of the 3 games on ABC tomorrow. Is Florida, Texas. The second will be Georgia at Oxford. I hadn't looked at the game notes. Clay, I don't remember how many times Georgia has been to Oxford over the 32 years Arkansas has been in the league, but I can't imagine it's been often in the last.
They don't know where it is.
Exactly. Georgia's laying 2.5 to the Ole Miss Rebels. Sean, we'll start with you. You like Ole Miss or Georgia on the road tomorrow afternoon?
Give me Ole Miss.
Clay?
I mean, Georgia's got the better team, and I'm just going to I think that they'll cover.
2.5's not enough. I'll take Georgia and give the 2.5 in this one.
I think Dart would have to play like he did last week, and I don't think you can play like that 2 weeks in a row.
And particularly
against their defense.
Georgia's defense might be better than Arkansas's. I'm going to go out on the limb there and say Georgia might have the better defense.
If Xavier Sorey can't play at Georgia, their defense is good.
Yeah. South Carolina at Vanderbilt. Vandy has had the hot hand. 3.5's the line with the Gamecocks laying 3.5 on the road. And Nashville, Clay, do you like the hot-handed Commodores, or do you like South Carolina, who rolled up A&M last week?
So South Carolina and Arkansas have been very similar through the years. Roller coaster. When they peak one week, they are in the valley the next, the bottom part of the roller coaster. So I'm going against South Carolina more than I am picking Vanderbilt.
Sean?
I want Vanderbilt to beat South Carolina, so maybe it won't look so bad on us.
Yep.
So.
I like Vandy. I think Vandy may be the better team in this deal, and they're at home, so I'll take Vandy.
Like their quarterback.
And the 3.5 points. Mississippi State is in Knoxville at Tennessee. The Volunteers giving up 24.5 points on the Bet Saracen line. Sean, you like the Vols in over 3 touchdowns, or do you like Mississippi State catching those 24 points?
No, I'll take the Vols. The Vols are going to do it. It's Mississippi State doesn't have what it takes.
Yep. Clay?
I'll go Tennessee.
I'm going to take Mississippi State. Tennessee wins the game, but 24 points.
Tennessee's got. I mean, they'll have their hands full with that offense.
Yeah,
that's the kind of outlier there.
Yeah, so I'll take State and 24 points. And then the nightcap tomorrow in the SEC, Alabama at LSU. This has always been the marquee game. I'm not so sure that it is the marquee game in the SEC slate this year. Bama's trying to hold on to any chance of being in the 12-team playoff. A loss would eliminate them. LSU's trying to put themselves back squarely in the conversation. Alabama's given up 3 points in Baton Rouge. Sean, you like the Crimson Tide, or do you like the Bayou Bengals?
Give me the Bayou Bengals. They're playing at home. I think the home advantage is going to just give them what it takes.
All right. Clay?
Run, Forrest, run. Alabama all the way.
All right, give me LSU at home at night, Death Valley.
Yep.
They're tough, so I'll take LSU and the 3 points.
It's probably Crown Royal's biggest sell night ever.
There will be purple bags everywhere.
No question.
If you need one for your golf bag or one to put just really anything in, they'll have plenty of those. I was looking here real quick at the Bet Saracen app, and I don't believe we have a line yet for Arkansas and Baylor. So I may just ask you guys to give some thoughts and a pick on that, but I don't see a line yet up for that game. So Clay, if we said it was Baylor -4, how would you feel A about that Tommy Kraft line I just picked, and B, how do you feel the Hogs will do against the Baylor Bears in Dallas?
I looked at Baylor's roster. I cannot pronounce any of the names, so I'm going with Arkansas.
Sean, I feel like I know exactly where you're headed.
Yeah. I feel like this is, for our Razorback administration and team and players, I think this is a make or break game for a few people. So if we don't win or win out the season, I think I hate to hear what might happen. So I think our back's against the wall, so we're going to have to win this one.
Over under in some places is 152.5, but no line yet on Bet Saracen. I'll take the Hogs and lay 4 in that mythical line we just kind of invented. All right, those are your Fenceman Friday picks. We'll find out next week how we did on those. And Sean, I know we've had the storms and some floodwaters in places, and I would imagine there's more than one or two out there listening that have had a section or two, or maybe a part of their fence that's been taken down in the storms. You guys do not only great fence installations for residential and commercial, but you do fence repairs as well.
Yes. You anything doing with the fence, commercial, residential, controlled access. We've got the teams, we've got the talent. I've got the salespeople. We can come out, get you a free quote. We can take care of you. We are very blessed. So if you've got that challenge, please give us a chance to come out, take a look, give you a good quote, put you in the lineup, get you in there as fast as we possibly can. So we'd love to have an opportunity to show you what we can do for you.
782-3936 is the number. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. Sean, enjoy the weekend fishing, and we'll catch up with you next Friday here in the studio.
Y'all, thank you very much. Y'all have a great weekend.
All right, Sean with the Fence Man with us every Friday in our Fence Man Friday picks. Hey, if you're headed out for the weekend, be sure and stop by Andy's Frozen Custards. They have 2 locations in Conway, one on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, also on JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock as well. For the weekend, take home a pick 6. You can mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time treat. So swing by Andy's Frozen Custards, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, 2 locations in Conway, and don't forget JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock as well. Andy's Frozen Custards, walk up or drive through. They're ready to serve you. It's 9:24 on a Football Friday on the Morning Rush.
Shop local, eat local, be local. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text REP to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text REP to 321-321. That's REP to 321-321.
This is the Morning Rush.
House here in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The long wait is almost over, Waldron. Wave Rural Connect will be opening the Waldron Zone for orders November the 18th. If you registered before the 18th, you still need to put in your product order when Waldron opens. Amazing fiber internet and phone, all from a local provider in Ozark, Arkansas, is coming to Waldron. Pre-register online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Aaron, what's going on this month?
We have new Polaris units on our lot, such as the Ranger XD 1500, the Sportsman 6x6, and the Razor Pro S. We have discounts here for the 2024 Polarises that have up to $6,000 off the original price. If you guys have any questions, call me or text me at 479-783-5822.
Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir. Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Well, I'm surprised Brian and Ozark getting on the phone already, gloating this morning as number 5 Arkansas fell 2-1 to 21st ranked Texas in the SEC tournament semifinals in soccer last night. Hogs await their NCAA tournament bid and draw and find out where they'll play next. That will be revealed on Monday, November the 11th at 3 o'clock. So the Hogs are out of the SEC soccer tournament. Texas and South Carolina, Clay, will play in the women's soccer tournament championship. So we'll keep an eye on that. But Longhorns, Arkansas beating them in the regular season and then fell short in the conference tournament semifinals. So hopefully this is the year they can break through. Seems like softball and soccer are the sports that are just next to get through to that championship level or that next level. Soccer has had its moments but has not been able to break all the way to the top. And then softball, we know, is just still trying to find its way to a bid to Oklahoma City. Other things going on a weekend where you've got a bye date and no football, basketball on the road, of course. You can hear the game tonight on these ESPN Arkansas stations and the Hit That Line Now app. Arkansas taking on Baylor coming up this evening, and we'll have that, or tomorrow rather. We'll have that for you here on ESPN Arkansas. Other things happening: women's basketball versus Texas A&M Commerce. That game will be at 10:30 this morning. That's the Screaming Kids game. Bill's going to be away from halftime today as he'll call the action for women's basketball against A&M Commerce. Swimming and diving's at UALR, and volleyball is with South Carolina at home at 7 p.m. That's available on the SEC Network Plus. And that's your Hog Update, and it's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Big C, how you feeling about that Arkansas Baylor game? I know me and Ty got the big Arts barbecue bet with his dad, but is Arkansas win this game? How do you feel about it?
I like their chances. I mean, I know Baylor's going to be tall, they're going to be athletic, they're going to be well coached, and they're going to be hungry for a win. Now, if you look at all that, you're like, well, I don't know how Arkansas is going to win this game. Well, we've got some great players too. We got a great coach. It's a neutral game. It's not in their building, so you hope the shots are falling a little bit better than they were against Lipscomb. It's going to be close, I think, and it'll be a good test for them for sure. Playing against a good team, kind of in an NCAA tournament atmosphere.
Yeah. Clay? Did you return yet?
Yeah, I was there. I was
okay.
I was trying to talk to you about the soccer game, but I realized you were just doing the rundown.
Well,
so
I
went quiet.
I thought you had stepped away for a second. We can come back to that in a minute, but I wonder about this Baylor game, and it's so early in the year. But what kind of bearing could this game have on net ranking? What could it? I mean, is this a game? Even though it's this early, you think about it could be a difference somewhere down the road in a seed or how this team is viewed, or is that way too early to even think about that?
There have been some years where you looked at the non-conference schedule that Arkansas's had, and it was so weak that a game like this would really skew things. But they've got so many other games in their neutral site games that will really, really help them when if and when they win them. So they've got a lot more chances to make up for that. And I think they're going to – the other part about this team that I think the committee will understand is that Jonas Adu is not a significant factor right now, and they're being really careful with him. He had surgery on that foot. They want it to be fully healed. He got maybe a few minutes in each half a couple of nights ago. And what he's going to bring to this team when he comes back is an inside presence that you haven't seen. The Croatian is he kind of floats out of the lane a little bit too much for me. And I think Cal has spoken about that. But I think that there'll be a different team a little later, Tommy.
Yeah, I think it's a game that if you win it, you probably think it helps you, and if you lose it, it don't. All right, more of the Morning Rush on the way next.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Say goodbye.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
You're hunting in the comfort of an enclosed 6x6 Lazy Man fiberglass box blind. It's affordable at Jelco Outdoors. Lazy Man Fat Girl Blinds, built here in Fort Smith with your choice of 6-foot or 10-foot tower blind platforms, starting at $22.99.99. Box blinds are great for taking the kids, with plenty of room and out of the weather. Check out the Deer Blind
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, NHL to entertainment and political props. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link.
Football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Time for the Carpath Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at CarpathSocial.com.
All right, Morning Rush Daily Question. What's the best part about deer camp? It's brought to you by Carpath Social. I'll bring back Clay Henry for the conversation here with the Arkansas Democrat Gazette and Whole Hog Sports. Clay, I would contend the best part of deer camp is not finding that huge buck that you've been watching on your game cameras. It's not necessarily, the celebration of a great kill. It's the fellowship, the food, the sitting around the campfire, the life lessons learned there, the conversations. I think that's actually the best part of this time of the year is the fun you have with your family and friends in the woods around the campfire.
Well, you nailed it, and that's I'm going to be hanging out with my college roommates. We've been going to duck woods and deer camp for 45 years together, and very seldom do we even talk about killing a deer. We just talk about going. We will go out in a deer stand. I'll sit in a two-man deer stand in a bean field with Leo Crafton. We'll see deer, but we probably won't shoot. We will shoot a hog. They've got a problem with hogs. But the food is just unbelievable. There's some young guys that they cook the breakfast when you come back. So, you have a late breakfast and then an early dinner, and then you go to bed. I always try to make sure I've got a good book, a new book to time. I've got Webb Hubbell's new novel, former Razorback. He's written a string of novels, and I'll take a book. Afternoon naps, and then early to bed. But there'll be steak dinners. There'll probably be a shrimp boil. I guess that's what you call it. Maybe crawfish boil. There'll be something like that. And then the breakfast will be elaborate and filling.
That's always the best time. All right, that's our Morning Rush Daily question brought to you by Cart Path Social. If you've got some thoughts on what the best part of deer hunting this time of the year is, you can text or call us with those at 877-377-6963. Cart Path Social is the number one destination for indoor golf in Northwest Arkansas. They've got the most famous courses in the world available for you to play indoors. It's $50 per hour per bay. You can bring all your friends, and you can split that up. It's very minimal per person to enjoy that indoor golf. It's also a great place to work on your game at practice as well. They have leagues forming right now. The bay rental cost covers as many people as you want. Like I said, it's not just per person, so you can bring up to 8 friends, and you can really have a great time and socialize and do all that together. You can play 18 holes in about an hour. You can add about 45 minutes to that for each additional person. So it's a lot of fun. No golf attire required. They have monthly memberships available at 50% golf discounts and 15% clothing discounts that when you buy one of those monthly memberships as well. It's all at Cart Path Social. If you want to host a corporate event, you can do that there. They're at 122 Grant Place in Lowell, or call them at 479-487-3622. Another guy getting ready for the weekend is Larry Rath with Rath Auto Resources. Larry, I know you've sold probably a lot of trucks and a lot of great pre-owned vehicles to hunters around our state as people are getting ready, and you're getting them ready with the Rath-ready pre-owned vehicles that are on the lot for this weekend.
That's absolutely right, Tommy. Road Ready certified. Best used cars your money can buy. Only available at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. We kind of built our house on selling high-quality, premium, pre-owned vehicles, Tommy. We've been doing that for a long time. Way back in the day, even when we were a Lincoln Mercury dealer, we were selling 3 or 4 used to every one. We love selling used cars. We know how to get them. We know how to get them ready. And now we back them with a comprehensive warranty as well. You're just not going to buy a better used car anywhere. We keep a great selection, very broad, cars, trucks, SUVs, all the different price ranges, all the different makes and models. You don't have to drive all over town to see all these different vehicles. Come to Rath Auto Resources, see them all in one place. All the price ranges, too. I mean, we're keeping some cash cars now. We got some cars under $10,000, maybe even a few that are back under 7 or even under 6. Cheaper cars like that, all the way up to, the nicest used car you're going to find anywhere with, 3,000 miles on it. We've got all those types of used cars. We've also got the new Mitsubishis right now with the big winter clearance sale going on. We've got good inventory of Outlander. If you haven't seen that car, folks, come in and drive an Outlander before you go buy another RAV4 or another Subaru. We've got a car that's better looking, it's got better tech in it, it's got a better warranty on it, and it's a lot less expensive for you to buy, particularly right now with rates as low as 0%. on the brand new Mitsubishi products. So we got a lot of good things going on there. If you're keeping the car you have, the Meineke Car Care Center wants to take care of you and your car. We've got everything you need, from tires, brakes, batteries, major repairs, oil changes, whatever you got going on. It's a one-stop shop. We take care of everything for you, do a complete inspection on your car, help you stay in front of your maintenance and repairs so that stuff doesn't sneak up on you at some point. And Philip and his team in Fort Smith, Nate and his bunch up in Springdale, they'd love a chance to take care of your car. All of your automotive needs in one place, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Check us out online, rathauto.com.
All right, that's Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith, and in Springdale. Larry, enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. Folks, come and see us.
I want to come back to, we were talking earlier in the show, Clay, about the soccer and Arkansas being eliminated by Texas. Clay's with us here on the Morning Rush, presented by the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. Clay, that was the tournament semifinals. Arkansas had beaten Texas back in the regular season, but I was mentioning earlier that, it seems like soccer and softball are the two sports on campus that are, and I know men's basketball is its own conversation, but the next one to kind of break through to that championship level. It seems like they're just right on the doorstep and can't get through that door.
Yeah, they played at Austin about a month ago, and Arkansas was behind and came back, had a 2-goal lead, and ended up winning 4-3. And they took the lead last night and then gave up an own goal and went into double overtime. Arkansas dominated. I mean, it was the game was played in front of Texas's goal. But late in the second overtime, I mean, it looked like they were about to go to PKs. Texas put a long looping shot in and got the victory. Arkansas is the better offensive team, but Texas won because of a great goalie. She's probably the best goalie in the league. I think they'll do well in the tournament. It'll come down to, can they be a little more clinical in front of the goal? And, they have scored a lot of goals this year. I mean, they've beaten all kinds of records. I think they'll do well in the tournament. I've always kind of wondered in soccer, you spend a lot of energy at the SEC tournament if you go all the way to the championship game. And Arkansas usually does, but they usually don't win. Their style of play is really aggressive and uses a lot of energy. And I've wondered, are you better off? Just like in the basketball tournament, they always say that the team that plays 3 or 4 straight days, at the SEC basketball tournament, that does not serve them well the next week when they go start the NCAA tournament. If the soccer team's not better off, being home today.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that selection on Monday and bring that to you on Tuesday morning here.
They should be hosting. They should be a national seed.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Got a few other things to get through here. I want to bring up the story with Kirk Herbstreit. Our Clay Henry with us here on the Morning Rush, brought to you by Arkansas Game and Fish. If you're a hunter, the best time of the year is right now, and you just can't beat hunting season right here in the natural state. But before you take your tree stand in the morning or hunker down in your ground blind, don't forget to buy your Arkansas hunting license at huntnatural.org. That's huntnatural.com, rather. Huntnatural.com. It's the final step and the first step towards an unforgettable season. That's huntnatural.com. I know you love your dogs, and Millie's someone who appears on the show from time to time, but sad day for Kirk Herbstreit yesterday is Ben, who many of us gotten to know, and if you're a dog lover, you've probably had a little bit of a connection through the TV screen with Kirk and his dog who's traveled the country. He put a post out yesterday that he found out that the cancer had spread throughout Ben's organs. There was nothing left they could do, and they had to let him go. He talked about having dogs his whole life and his ability to really communicate and understand each other. It's a different kind of loss. It's a different kind of love. But, man, when you've had a pet or an animal that's more than that, those are tough days, particularly when you got young kids in the house.
Ben was at Fayetteville for the Tennessee game, and there were some people that I was not in the booth or around, but those that say, that he could just look at Ben, and Ben knew what to do and knew how to react, and their relationship. I mean, was unbelievable. I mean, he would have been on the field, and it was kind of a feel-good story because Ben would have his own press passes at all these games, hanging from his neck. Some dogs have dog tags. Ben had press credentials from all over the country, and you think that morning he was in Berkeley, I think, for game day, and Ben was there. I mean, Ben just gets on those planes and did all that. But I think we all knew that Ben was going through some troubles, 9 years old, and he got the treatment of a king, these last few months. And Ben, it really is a fun story until you got to the end. And that was, I think we all shed a tear because it's, if you're a dog lover, it just can't, I mean, it's going to get to you. There's not any question about it. And I'll be honest, I thought about going up in the press box and seeing if I could pet Ben when he was there for the Tennessee game, but the security up there was just massive. I think, maybe Chuck Barrett and Phil Elson, they might have got to see Ben, but the rest of us, we weren't up on that floor as far as being invited to go see Ben. But there were people wanting to see Ben and not see the great announcer. They didn't care about him.
Well, thoughts with Kirk and his family, because it's really like losing a family member. And Ben was 10 years old, and you develop that relationship. And I just imagine, and as I look at it, Ben was traveling with him this football season because he knew his time was limited.
No question.
And his schedule's so busy, he didn't want to waste any of that time in Ben's final days. So
yeah, they probably had some great conversations, and we lost a 16-year-old lab about a month ago, and it is so tough, and it's still tough. And this season is going to be marked by for Kirk, not about who wins the national championship. That this year it'll be about the year that he lost Ben.
All right, so Kirk Herbstreit's sidekick and travel mate these last few months on College Game Day and all these games, Ben, his beloved dog that I think a lot of the country connected with, passes away yesterday. Had to let him go with cancer spreading throughout his body. All right, hour 2 coming up here. Best parts of Deer Camp, we're discussing that. Hogs with the weekend off. Clay, we haven't really even gotten into football. We'll discuss that with the Texas game on the horizon. So another full hour here with your calls and texts on the way as well. The Fence Man was talking about fishing this weekend. That Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue, something you should take along whether you're headed to Beaver or Table Rock or Clay and mine's favorite spots in north central Arkansas on the White River or the North Fork. That Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will suspend in the strike zone longer, helping you catch more fish. Look for it by name, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue. It's at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue. It's 9:53, hour 2 of the Morning Rush, on the way next.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt, and we're at the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb pages for him.
He means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Remember the classic Massey Ferguson tractors, straightforward, dependable, tough as nails, and easy to run? It's those classic models that inspired the Massey Ferguson 2600H series, as durable and reliable as the classics, with up to 74 horsepower and more comfort so you can work harder. The Massey Ferguson 2600H series. It's everything you want and need in a tractor. See one at Bush Machine and Tractor Company or visit bushtractor.com to learn more.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
The Neumeier family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Neumeier's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Neumeier family.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, mostly cloudy sky. There's a chance of seeing some showers and thunderstorms across the south. Our high temperatures today in the low to mid 60s. Showers, a chance of thunderstorms tonight, and overnight low will drop down in the low to mid 50s, and we could see some periods of heavier rain. Showers with occasional thunderstorms Saturday, highs on Saturday mid to upper 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Through the sky, Tommy and Ty, crazy drive. Tune in now, don't be shy. Morning rush gonna make you feel alive.
All right, 10 o'clock straight up. Football Friday here on the Morning Rush. It's a tie-free Friday. He is away for the bye weekend. And Gracie,
it's not a wedding, right?
It is not a wedding. He is going to the Notre Dame-Florida State game. So I told him when he announced this that, well, that's great. So when Arkansas plays there, hopefully in a few years, there won't be a need to send you. We'll send me and Big C up there since you've already been. And,
I've got a question. How many days off does he get a year?
10, like the rest of us. But most of his wedding stuff's weekends.
I mean, we'll start counting them.
Yeah.
I think he's keeping track, Tommy. You need to keep track.
You're probably right. I don't want, but then I'd have to track all the hours he actually does work, and then that'd probably work out in his favor.
There's things that he does behind the scenes that none of us that are out here in Radio land we get.
He does all the things that me and Big C don't want to do. That's what he's responsible for.
And he does them well.
Yeah, he does them right.
By contrast of when he's on the air, he's really good behind the scenes.
Yeah, there you go. He can
I was disappointed yesterday when I came up for a term for him that fits, and you didn't think you could read it on the air. And if you can't read it on the air, then I probably shouldn't say it either.
But I enjoyed the text. It was pretty good. Hey, we're brought to you by our friends at Modular Orange, your website for your business. Kind of where are you at with that right now? If you need some help, or you need one, period, or you're not happy with the hosting and the security and the service you're getting now, our friends at Modular Orange can do everything you need done for $95 a month. They'll build you a great site with no upfront cost, no additional fees. They'll allow you the time to focus on your business while they focus on your website. Plus, they'll update it as you need. They can help you get to the right graphics for your social media accounts as well. Modular Orange ensures that your customers can reach you no matter what device they're using to check your website. Their websites work with all phones, laptops, and notebooks. And again, it's $95 a month. 479-755-3043 or visit modularorange.com. The Hall of Famer Clay Henry with Whole Hog Sports and the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette is with us here in Hour 2 on a Football Friday. Clay, we've been through the first hour, and we haven't mentioned football yet. Now, obviously, they're off this weekend, but maybe I think for fans, the most emotional game of the year with Texas, particularly if you're of a certain age. I don't know is that the way it is for the team inside those four walls? Is this the one that's the biggest game of the year for this team in their minds, the way it seems to be on the outside of the four walls of the program? Well, you've got about 30-something players, maybe 40, that are from the state of Texas. And for them, yeah, it is. And, there's a 2-week build-up to this, the osmosis of being around town and being on campus. Now, just think of it in terms of who is on that campus now. A lot of Texans. If you drive around and you look in the parking lots, you're going to see Texas license plates everywhere. So they're around their classmates. This is a big game. I mean, it's the game. It is for me, but I'm 70, and I'm in a different. In Ty and I have talked about this before. He thinks Texas A&M is the biggest game. Well, I think they do play hard against Texas A&M, and it is important. They have always played hard for Texas. If they don't, I will be stunned. If they're not in a fever pitch, and I think the fans will be. And I think it's significant that it's not this weekend because it's the first weekend of modern gun season for deer hunting. Mm-hmm. And when you think that there's 300,000 Arkansans in the deer woods this weekend, that impacts the Razorback football attendance. And I think it'll be, people are going to use the tickets for this game. I think it'll be a really good crowd and probably better than it was for Ole Miss. There were a lot of empty seats for the Ole Miss game. I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah. The north end zone, a lot of those suites they were about half full. I thought it was spotty in the south end zone, in those those club seats.
I mean, it's still a good crowd, and they sold 75,000 tickets, so that's what the announced attendance was. But I'd say it was probably more like 68, 70. But I bet you that it's a full house for this game.
And I think I don't know if this is a conversation or will be a conversation next week, but playing at home, playing well at home, is something I think fans are a little bit aggravated by. They didn't play well against LSU in that loss, played well on the road and handled Mississippi State in blowout fashion. And then Ole
Miss
Miss
did not play well against UAB.
He didn't play well against UAB, but in the recent memories, there hasn't been a great home performance. Tennessee obviously is the one we look at, but I mean, you scored 19 points in that game, but you won. You rushed the field, but I think the effects of that has worn off. Is I guess the point I'm getting to, and I think it's fans are craving that memory, and there's no better time than Texas because since the Tennessee game, which was early October, it's been over a month since you've seen a great home performance.
Well, they remember what you do in November, and this is November, and what they do in these last three games will weigh heavily on how this team is remembered. I think that's obvious. I think I'm probably, being Captain Obvious with dragging that out. But it's the Texas game is what the majority of our state still will say that meant something to me. Yeah. And if you win, I think some sins will be forgiven. Yeah. And you'll think about, okay, we beat the two orange UTs at home, so those will be. Now, Tommy, you live in Fort Smith, and you're exposed to a lot of OU people, and when that game comes on the schedule, it will be huge. People in East Arkansas, and I'm going to that part of the state this afternoon. That they're really. I mean, you can't imagine what the difference between Northwest Arkansas and say, Brinkley to the Mississippi River, how close that is to Ole Miss. And there's people in Arkansas that go to Ole Miss because of proximity. And that game meant a lot to a lot of people, and it upset them the way that the team played. So they need a good performance against Texas to kind of set the emotions on a positive track. And I think that will be talked about. You asked me about what are the memories or what happens at deer camp. Well, obviously there's the deer hunting is just a brief moment, but we'll be watching the Razorback basketball game. We'll be talking Razorback football. All the guys that I hang out with, it'll be like doing radio with you. They'll want to pepper me with questions about that, and it's important that I take time to discuss those things with them. But the Texas game is meaningful to all these guys that are my age. Yeah. When you talk about somebody that they're under 50, it's announced my return to writing for the Democrat Gazette, and I've got a lot of emails, and there are people that are of the age that they grew up reading my dad. And then there's younger people, they don't even know who my dad is. And that's the same thing about Texas. Yeah. It's your age. It's what you grew up with. We haven't played them regularly in the last 25 years or 32 years. The SEC, we're 1992, we're in 2024. There's 32 years where it's a random game. Arkansas has won most of those games of late, but it's not been a regular game of late, and it's what you do lately is more important. So that's why the Tennessee game is going to continue to fade away as the season goes forward. And if you put bad performances together, that's what you remember. But you would hope that they would play better in Razorback Stadium than they have.
If you haven't downloaded the Oaklawn Sports app, you need to do that before the weekend's up. And if you're a new customer, you can get up to $1,000 in bonus bets. You don't have to do anything special or extra. You're automatically enrolled. You'll get second chance bets on your first 10 bets each of the first 10 days, up to $100. Apple Pay, Venmo, your debit or credit card, ACH, on-site cash. They make it easy to deposit and withdraw funds with the Oakland Sports app. And everything from college football to the pros to the NBA season, hockey, it's all there for you with the Oakland Sports app. Bet with a brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oakland Sports. I know in some of the text groups that I'm in, and I'm certain you get this question because I get it a lot, is about the future of Sam Pittman. And I want to go back to something we were talking about in the first hour and talking about Billy Napier in Florida and just kind of the state of college, the business of college athletics right now. And this is what I keep coming back to when asked is, the idea that coaches are going to be fired because they didn't make a bowl or they're going to be let go because they didn't meet a certain expectation, I think is no longer a reality. And I'm not talking about just Sam Pittman. I'm talking about across the board with revenue sharing coming and what's going to amount to probably closer to $25 million between scholarship increases and the total number of scholarships and the $22 or $23 million in revenue sharing. It's never been more important to have someone with a strong hand on the finances that's running your athletic department than now. Clay, one of the byproducts of that is it's not going to be knee-jerk reactions anymore, and it's not just the football coach. It may be one of your spring sports or your women's basketball program or something else on your campus. Contract extensions and terminations are not going to be as emotionally based as they've been in the past, is my belief.
Yeah, so you're exactly right in the conversation that they're having at Florida. Pay off your coach is one thing. Paying off a buyout to hire somebody is another thing. And then when you think about we're going to have to come up with $22 million. The other thing that's not going to happen, when you're looking around the country in Power 5, facilities are going to be static. Nobody's going to be, scrambling around to spend $250 million to rebuild a stadium, a basketball arena. Barnhill, Bud Walton, all of that's been tabled. It's, they're going to patch the roof. That's the important thing. But I kind of laughed. John Calipari, he said, we can put buckets out there. Yeah. We can, if it rains and we need to put buckets out there when we're practicing, we'll do that. But it's what you're looking at is an Arkansas staff that I think is pretty good. I like where they're at with their football staff. So that's the part that, that you can have continuity with your staff. Travis Williams, Bobby Petrino, and I can go through a lot of the other coaches that I think are recruiting at a high level. And if you upset the apple cart and you change, you're also paying off those guys. It's in the new coach. I've heard several guys mention as a new coach, well, they're going to call their own plays. Well, Bobby Petrino is not going to be. He's not.
He's here to call plays. Yeah.
For example, if you bring in Rhett Lashley, well, you don't need Bobby Petrino because Rhett calls his own plays. Yeah. He's going to run his offense. So that's you. When you change staffs, when you completely revamp everything, you go back to square zero and you rebuild. Fortunately, with the portal, you can do it quicker. But it's let's talk about it in these terms. They win another SEC game. That's 4-4. Go back and look at 32 years and find out how many teams have gone 4-4. And you think, well,
or better.
They've only won 7 games. That would probably put them at 7 if they win either Texas or Missouri and Louisiana Tech. And they're 4-4 and 7-5.
Yeah. I think the other thing
that sounds like it's an average season, but it's pretty good in the annals of Arkansas history in the SEC.
No, you're right, because there hasn't been a lot of 4-4 or better performances, but I also don't think seasons that meet or exceed expectations, or a big win like we saw with Brett Bielema beating Texas down in Houston, or beating Texas in 21 in Fayetteville, are going to be followed up by contract extensions or new deals. I think a lot of these contracts
You're exactly
I think
right.
the counterbalance is, because the way the job market's going to be, the coach doesn't have the leverage any longer. Their agent isn't going to have the leverage that a Jimmy Sexton once had to play one opportunity off the other. Or at least I don't think it's going to be that way. So, I think that the hand held in those regards to those conversations has got to be with the AD now.
Yeah, as each year lops off on Sam Pittman's contract, his buyout gets smaller. The same thing with Billy Napier. The same, so that it decreases. I think that it's probably where Hunter Yurachek will feel more comfortable. If you remember when we had that press conference in the indoor baseball facility, and he talked about, we're not going to have big buyouts. We're not going to have big contracts. It's going to be year to year. Well, then they go 9-4, and Jimmy Sexton pulled it off, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be less and less because every chancellor, every board of trustees, they're uncomfortable with how much money is going to be spent on athletics. They're going, we can't do those kind of buyouts anymore.
Yeah. Brought to you by River City Coatings. They can handle all of your powder coating needs, whether it's a large-scale job or a small-scale job. And they also do laser cutting, press brake forming, and welding as well. At River City Coatings, they are now your one-stop shop for fabricating, forming, welding, and powder coating. So anything you need, they can do it all in one place, so there's no need to run things around from place to place to get everything you need done. Call them at 471-7675, 479-471-7675, or see everything they offer online at rivercitycoatings.com. I want to come back to, you're talking about facilities. Let's give the late Frank Broyles credit. Let's also give credit to Jeff Long and Hunter Yurachek. For the most part, the facilities package at Arkansas is in good shape. And if you've got to live with what you got for a while, Clay, in total, I'll put where Arkansas is at up against about anyone.
Yeah, it was interesting when Jeff Long arrived, and we all thought the facilities were in pretty good shape. And he said that what he saw and what he found was from the street, everything looked really well, but there needed to be a lot of work done inside. And they got about to fixing the stuff. They started doing things to the football stadium, and then but it's the track facility. And I sat down with Chris Bucknam early this year, and it's incredible the number of world-class athletes that work out in the Frank O'Mara Center. And you go to the baseball facilities, it's not just how they look on the inside anymore. They are incredible when you go through those buildings. One of the things that's interesting, we're moving gymnastics to Bud Walton Arena. So now what's left in Barnhill? It's just an office building with volleyball games. That's it. There's nothing else.
Well, at some point, if the money's there, they'll tear that building down in its time.
And then they're going to build a parking garage there.
Something.
But no, it'll be a parking garage.
I think they should, at some place, and again, we're talking about not building facilities because the money's going to be limited, but a smaller multi-use facility that's, 8 to 10,000, 7 to 8, 9,000 capacity, that you could have volleyball, gymnastics, things of, those kind of events would be called for. But again, we just spoke out of one side of our mouth that, hey, those things aren't going to happen anymore.
No,
but
they're not.
That's the need, and I don't know that need will ever get filled.
Tommy, I wrote about this not too long ago, but this has been 40 years ago. I covered ORU at UCLA because I was on the West Coast for a bowl game. Drove up the highway an hour and a half to Pauley Pavilion. And we all know Pauley Pavilion is the historic place that John Wooden won national championship after national championship. It was a multi-use facility, and I walked into the building, and I looked down, and what jumped out at me was not a logo on the floor like what you have at Bud Walton Arena with the Slobbering Hog. It was 4 letters, UCLA, and there were stripes everywhere. I mean, there were multiple volleyball courts set up. That's where we're headed. I mean, and I do not think that there'll be, in my lifetime, and I'm old, I don't think there'll be that that smaller arena for volleyball, because they're going to do everything in Bud Walton.
Yeah.
And it's going to be where everything is played. I can remember sitting with Gary Blair, and Bud Walton wasn't quite done, and he was trying to decide: do you play women's basketball in Barnhill, where 3,500 looks like a full house and it's loud, or you go into Bud Walton and 3,500 looks like there's nobody there? And he said, I think I'm going to stay at Barnhill. And about a month later, had the same conversation. He goes, changed my mind. I said, what changed your mind? He said, Pat Summitt. Pat Summitt says, you cannot have a showcase like that on your campus and keep women's basketball in Barnhill. Yeah. You just can't do it. It's wrong. And that's, so they moved into Bud Walton. I think that everything should be in Bud Walton Arena. I don't think you should, tell a female athlete, we're going to keep you over here.
Oh, that's right.
When you have this facility available to you.
That's right. Hey, we've got your SEC update on the way in just a minute. We'll look at the games for the weekend. We're brought to you by TGI Fridays on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. They have an incredible lineup of meal deals, 10 meals for $10, and you can get things like crispy chicken fingers for only $9.99. It comes with seasoned fries and coleslaw, whiskey glazed chicken slammers, just $10.99, buffalo chicken slammers for the same price. They've got grilled salmon. They've got Friday's big ribs today for $14.99, and they all come with a side and a fountain drink as well. So if you're looking for a great lunch that you can afford, it's at TGI Fridays, 540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. It's 10:21. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
How about old Bart Bielema? I mean, RPI stands for Real Pizza Intake on him.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
All the road hogs have the hog calls and the tailgate ready to roll.
Hi, everybody.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, NHL to entertainment and political props. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in DeQueen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call, cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab.
Most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials. Tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbor since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSAuto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC buyers. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland. Always online at burtonpools.com.
Well, I know this. If you're not going to be in a tree stand tomorrow, you could just park your butt in front of a TV, put it on ABC, and have a pretty good day. 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, Florida's at Texas. The line's 21.5. Clay, this is the first of 3 huge games tomorrow on ABC and a pretty decent conference slate tomorrow. Several teams are on byes, including the Razorbacks, including Auburn. Kentucky is off this weekend as well, and A&M is also healing up from their loss to South Carolina. But tomorrow, a triple header starting with Florida at Texas at 11 a.m.
Fun day, and it's going to be. This is where things are starting to crystallize of what the playoff is going to be. These are the games that are going to shape the committee. They're in those conference rooms in Dallas, taking all in these games and making decisions. I did a feature story on Bill Hancock that's online now at Whole Hog Sports, and we talked about some of those things, how much fun those rooms were, and the fact that some of the committee members would have to be recused and go sit outside, and there weren't any snacks, and somebody found some bacon, and all at once they started putting piles of bacon out there. Bacon kind of makes all your pain go away, doesn't it? Your stress.
I've never seen anything cooked with bacon or bacon added to it that it didn't improve. Yeah. I mean,
so the
bacon and chocolate improve everything.
Bill's no longer in charge of the selection committee, but I wonder if they've still got piles of bacon outside that room.
Yeah, I imagine they eat well during those meetings. The middle game of that triple header on ABC will be Georgia at Ole Miss. You talk about games that also have an influence. In fact, all 3 of these games tomorrow will have a significant influence on next week's poll and then eventually the rankings. Georgia at Ole Miss. Georgia favored by 2.5. We saw Ole Miss come in and dominate the Razorbacks last week. From a line of scrimmage, watching the nastiness in the trench, this could be a fun watch tomorrow between the Rebels and the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think that's where it all happens. In the ability to rush the passer, Arkansas could not do anything to impact Dart. But if you go back and watched LSU, what they were able to do, that was the significant part of the game. Dart just didn't have the time, and I think Georgia will do the same thing to him.
Much the same way Arkansas would love to have that Oklahoma State afternoon back early in the year. Ole Miss is probably looking at that Kentucky loss, and that may be what keeps them out of a postseason bid in the 12-team tournament.
Doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Tommy?
Doesn't at all.
I mean, Kentucky has had a bad season. That's their saving grace.
But that's what made it fun this year, Clay. We never know what's going to happen. More so this year than in any of the previous 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, there's just been every once in a while there's a wreck, and you just don't know how it happened. I mean, if somebody ran a 4-way stop, and I mean it's just how did that how did Vanderbilt beat Alabama? How did Kentucky beat? And you can say the same thing about Arkansas and Tennessee and South Carolina and Texas A&M, and there's a lot of games that defy explanation. But I think what we finally figured out is that's life with the portal, that the have-nots or the teams at the bottom of the standings have gotten better players. They can go find experienced older players and rebuild. And they're taking players away from – I mean, just look, Arkansas's had Drew Sanders that Alabama did not want to leave. Arkansas's got Xavier Sorey that Georgia would have been really happy to have him on special teams and play on their kickoff and punt cover teams. And they lose players like that, and it makes a difference. It's I think it's just – there's no other explanation other than to say the portal has played a heavy part in this.
100%. And then the nightcap of that triple header on ABC, Alabama at LSU. This has been the marquee game not only of a weekend but of a season for the last 5 or 10 years. Alabama's favored by 3. The game's in Baton Rouge. Another game that if probably either the loser of this game, Clay, good chance they're out of the playoff picture.
I think you're right. This is a game that. When Nick Saban ended up at Alabama, he had been coach at LSU. From that point forward, both schools have demanded to the SEC that they have an open date before this game. And that tells you all you really need to know, that it is so important that they're going to take their open date for this week. And I've got friends on both sides of this, and it's a rivalry game that probably wasn't until Saban got to Alabama. Yeah. I mean, LSU, their biggest rivals. I mean, it was Ole Miss, and to some extent, they got excited about Arkansas, but no, and that was one of the reasons why I think Arkansas really had a good. Break when they were playing LSU after Alabama.
Yeah. 2 other games on the SEC slate. Those 3 we just mentioned: Florida at Texas, Georgia at Ole Miss, Alabama at LSU. All 3 in a row on ABC tomorrow. That is really one of the good things about this new TV partnership. You can just line them up for a weekend like this and put your marquee games all on one station or one channel. You've also got South Carolina at Vanderbilt, Mississippi State at Tennessee. Tennessee favored by 24 in this game. South Carolina just came off a huge emotional win over A&M. They go to Nashville. Do you think that South Carolina can keep it together 2 weeks in a row?
Generally, your defense travels. I really like this defensive line at South Carolina, and they dominated Texas A&M and changed that game with the ability to stop the run. I think that what you've got at Vanderbilt is a running quarterback, and everything is built off play action. If they can take the run away, I think that this could be a day for South Carolina. But I do not want to bet against that Vanderbilt quarterback. He is a gamer, the ultimate competitor. I like their coach. This has been one of the feel-good stories about college football this year.
And I think another one where the portal has made the difference for Vanderbilt and the Commodores this year. All right, that's your SEC update. It is brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. If you're feeling stressed out and ready for a break, unwind with a de-stress for less sale. They got all the hot tubs on sale right now at Burton Pools and Spas. You can melt away your stress in the world's best-selling tubs designed to rejuvenate your body and your mind and save up to $7,000 right now Enjoy free local delivery, installation, and free water testing as well, so you can treat yourself to pure relaxation with a hot tub from Burton Pools and Spas. They're in Springdale, they're in Greenland, and they're in Fort Smith. And find the full lineup of hot spring spas online at burtonpools.com. It is 10:35 this morning. We'll also get into, before we get out of here, some conversation about John Calipari and the basketball team. They're traveling to the Metroplex this weekend as they'll take on Baylor in a early season heavyweight tilt between Arkansas and Baylor. That's coming up tomorrow, and you can watch that one and listen to it right here on ESPN Arkansas. If you're craving something sweet and delicious, head over to our friends at Andy's Frozen Custards, 2 locations in Conway, 1 in Fort Smith. They're also on JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. Take home a Pick 6 where you can mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time treat. Swing by Andy's Frozen Custards. Again, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, 2 in Conway, and also in North Little Rock on JFK Boulevard. Andy's Frozen Custards, walk up or drive through. They're ready to serve you. If things, after all the rain, I saw a picture you had posted of the Norfolk where the white had backed up into the Norfolk. If things kind of gotten back to normal, the water cleared up, how was the fallout from all the flood this week in north central Arkansas?
There was low water this morning, and it looked pretty close to normal. There was it might be 6 to 8 inches high. I'm talking about the Norfolk, say in front of the fishing pier at Ackerman's Handicap Access. The upper Norfolk is probably back to normal. It's 4.8 miles long from the dam to the confluence. The only thing I'll say, and Tommy, you understand this, the lake turned over, and there's a lot of sulfur smell, on the river right now. So it kind of ruins the beauty when you smell that. I drove up to Whispering Woods a couple of nights ago, and when I got to the dam right past your house, that sulfur smell was pretty strong. It kind of smells like rotten eggs.
Yeah, you can't get away from it either.
No, but now the white's still flowing muddy, and there's trees in the river from the Buffalo and Crooked Creek. So when you're at the confluence and you're looking down, it looks like you've got kind of a dark area of water, which is just the color of the bottom on the Norfolk, and then you look out into the white and it's chocolate milk. Yeah. And there's debris in it. So that's going to be for another few days. But I know they've got high water at Augusta and Newport right now, 20 feet up than it would be normally from that push that we just had.
It's all got to go somewhere. So, yeah. So I was just kind of wondering what the update. If you're thinking about a trip to the White River, Gaston's White River Resort has the spot right there below the Bull Shoals Dam. I bet that water's starting to clear up a little bit. You can get one of their expert guides to take you fishing. Had a friend of ours, Joey Clampett from Clampett's Country Kitchen, was up there, and the water was just was unsafe to fish on after all those rains. And now you can get out and fish and enjoy it. Their expert guides can put you right on the fish. And a lot of times after rains like this, the fishing's pretty good in the days that follow. Call them at 870-431-5202 and book your trip and ask about winter rates at Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Shop local, eat local, be local. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is The Morning Rush.
And he's in. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Previously on Halftime.
You can't go in on insulting your own family. The solution, I think, in the coaches or the administrators' mind is money. More of your money.
Subscribe to the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast and listen wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
It's fall cleanup time at Gray Brothers Equipment. From the large M7 Series cab Kubotas to the L2502, the best-selling compact tractor in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Gray Brothers and Kubota will make your fall cleanup a breeze. With great pricing and interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months, they're making fall cleanup enjoyable again at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 12/31/2024, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
With everyday low prices on top brands, locally owned Jaegers Ace Hardware is committed to offering real service with real savings. Our brand new Barling location is now open at 942 Fort Street. Get these red-hot buys at all 5 locations. A 230-piece Craftsman Versa Stack Mechanics tool set, only $99. Milwaukee Select M12 and M18 tools and batteries, also $99. And Ace Reward members get super instant savings on select DeWalt and Craftsman tools and accessories. Find more everyday low prices online at JaegersHardware.com.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
With everyday low prices on top brands, locally owned Jaegers Ace Hardware is committed to offering real service with real savings. Our brand new Barling location is now open at 942 Fort Street. Get these red-hot buys at all 5 locations. A 230-piece Craftsman Versa Stack Mechanics tool set, only $99. Milwaukee Select M12 and M18 tools and batteries, also $99. And Ace Reward members get super instant savings on select DeWalt and Craftsman tools and accessories. Find more everyday low prices online at JaegersHardware.com.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning. I listen to you guys every morning 5 days a week.
Here's Slovis. Under pressure, set. Landon Jackson.
Do you want to watch the Morning Rush, Halftime, Even, Ruskin, and Zach? Find our live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Twitch. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio.
Kind of apropos that the Dallas theme brings us back from break. Arkansas going to be playing in the Metroplex this weekend. Cowboys have the Eagles. I guess you could double dip. You could watch the Arkansas-Baylor game. I know our winner of our football trip of a lifetime is headed down for the Eagles and the Cowboys this weekend, and we'll talk about the basketball game here in just a minute. Clay Henry with the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Whole Hog Sports, the Hall of Famer, is with us here for about 10 more minutes, the remainder of the show. We're brought to you by APAC Arcola. They have immediate openings in Boone, Marion, Baxter, Benton, Washington counties. Looking for licensed CDL drivers, heavy equipment operators, concrete finishers, diesel mechanics. If you've got experience with concrete and asphalt, they've got opportunities and jobs for you right now with great pay, benefits, including insurance, retirement, profit sharing, things that you may not have at your current job. Go to jobs.crh.com for details. Jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer. Looking at the game this weekend, I think some got to go to the Kansas game. That was a full house. I was a little surprised at the crowd size on Wednesday night with the Razorbacks. But Clay, I don't know what to expect this weekend in Dallas. With the game on a Saturday, still in football mode, but I think we're all getting a little more comfortable with the names and kind of how this set of players going to play out, and really the strength of the team right now, I would say, is those three guards.
Well, I was around some young boys in a church setting the other day, and it was Boogie Flan, Boogie Flan, Boogie Flan. That's what they're talking about. I mean, they got that name down, and he's a showman, and he's got unbelievable ability. Dusty Hannes a couple of nights ago says, "Y'all get used to seeing him, but in 7 months he's gone.
Yeah.
He's going to be like Anthony Black." He's still kind of getting his 3-point stroke down, and he is a good 3-point shooter. He'll make threes. What I really like about this team and what will travel this weekend is their defensive intensity and quickness. When they decided to make a run, anytime a dribbler turned their back in the offensive end, I'm talking about Lipscomb, somebody came and they picked their pocket from the back side. If you turn your back and you think, well, I'm going to work on this guy, somebody's going to take 2 steps and they're going to have the ball and they're going the other way for a dunk. And their shooting percentage was pretty good because they had about 5 breakaway dunks. Those things, they tend to help your shooting percentage, those steals and dunks.
Yeah. Well, and if you take away, and you can't just take them away, but some of the bad looks at 3, and you mentioned Flan, who was 1 for 8, I think, 3-point shooting the other night. Yeah, 1 for 8. He was 7 of 18 from the floor. You back that out, and the rest of his mid-range shots looked pretty good, but Arkansas was abysmal, 4 of 19, and you take those away, and the shooting percentages really look good. But that's not how it works.
I've talked to some people that have been at multiple practices, and they say that this team they've got better shooters than say the last 2 Arkansas teams. Well, last year's was a little better. The team 2 years ago, they couldn't throw it in the ocean from outside. I mean, they just did not have the ability to shoot. This team has that, and then I think you're going to like Adu because he's got a mid-range game. He will, if somebody wants to play zone against him, he's going to be at the high post and he's going to bury those 15-footers. He did it against Arkansas in Bud Walton Arena last year. He will help their shooting percentage. I don't think he's a 3-point guy, but I think it's that they're going to have to get somebody on the low block so they can play inside out, and that's a better look when the ball's coming to you and you're facing the basket as opposed to when it's coming from side to side and you turn and find the basket. The shooting percentages go up when you play inside out. And this is a coach that understands that. And he said bad teams don't have a post presence or something like that. That's my interpretation, the translation. We will have a post presence.
Said they're fake, didn't he? They're fake
teams.
I think
they're frauds.
Frauds.
They're frauds.
Yeah.
But that's they'll improve their low post presence, and Adu will do. That's where he's going to play.
And he only played almost 7 minutes the other night. But man,
it's like 3 and 3 in each half.
Yeah, just the physical presence he brings, and that doesn't probably jump through the TV screen the way it would if you were in the arena.
He looks like an old man out there.
He's a man. I mean, he is a man inside there. So, I mean, I like the 3 you got. You got to keep those guys healthy. That's one of Ty's concern is depth in the post. But I like the 3 you've got, and I think you're going to be fine there.
Yeah, they have so much talent. It's hard to really figure out how do you want it, how you want your substitution patterns. He said everything that they did was a defensive substitution except for one. And that speaks to where he wants to take this team. And I think they will have the ability to play defense. They look like some of Nolan's best teams that had athletes and could, play you with length. How about Carter Knox?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like he in about 30 seconds, you saw a flash of what he's going to be like. And he's a freshman. Billy Richmond.
It didn't take him long to get from one end to the other on that dunk either in the second half.
I mean, it was – and they've got a bunch of guys that can do that. And every once in a while, Lipscomb got the ball down low with the guard, and I think they were wanting to throw it outside, and nobody left him. Nobody left anybody. They're just like, we know that our guys can play defense. They're not – and what frustrated me about Musselman's team last year is when they had a breakdown, it was a chain reaction of open guys.
Yeah.
And you did not see that with this team. They did not leave their men especially in the second half. In their defensive rotation was solid. They played straight up, and that's going to be the calling card for this team, I think, is their defense.
So Arkansas made 4 3-point baskets. Obviously, that's 12 points. But let's make this our final point. 76 for the game. I just told you they had 12 behind the 3-point line. 54 of the 76 points were paint points the other night. So I'll be interested to compare that number with the numbers we're talking about Monday following the Baylor game. 54 of your 76 were in the paint, Clay. That's strong.
And then the other part is I think they'll get to the foul line. That crew, and I'm not criticizing them, they didn't call anything. And the teams were exhausted at the end of each half because they hadn't shot any free throws at time to rest.
There was only 23 fouls in the game and
they just didn't call anything.
16 free throw attempts for the game. So, it was a light night at the free throw line. Hey, if you're looking to spruce up your existing home or even build a brand new one, you can trust the experts at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas to help you choose the right financing options that's best for you and your family. Visit myaglender.com or drop by any of Farm Credit's 25 locations throughout the state and get started on building more family memories with Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. Clay, I know you're excited to see your buddies. Probably excited more to see them than to get to deer camp here in a few hours.
Yeah, it should be fun, Tommy. And that you would enjoy it because we're going to tell stories from 50 years ago. And there's some young guys there that have been there for several years, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, they're telling the same stories over and
the same
over
one he
and
told
over.
earlier this morning."
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah. My wife would hold up
one.
2 fingers like that's the second time on that one.
Yeah, today. Yeah, today. Well, be careful. I know the roads are going to be packed today. People pulling trailers with 4-wheelers and coolers and everything else strapped down. So give yourself a little extra time and enjoy the ride as well.
Yeah, deer on the roads. You got to make sure you don't hit one on the roads before you get to deer camp.
All right. So, Clay, safe travels, and
Thanks, Tommy.
we'll catch up with you on Monday.
Yeah, we didn't need Ty. We did it just fine without
I think we managed, got through it today. So, all right, we'll look forward to a tale from deer camp when we talk to Clay next. All right. It's been a fun Friday here. Clay on his way, and I think a lot of you can relate to that. Probably listening, driving down the road right now yourselves, headed off to deer camp. So, all right, Matt and I guess Phil's out today. It's Matt, Big C, and Colt 45 in today with halftime as Phil's got the call of the women's basketball game that I guess is underway. About 20 minutes into that ball game at Bud Walton Arena. All right, for Big C, for Clay Henry, I'm Tommy Kraft. Have a great Friday. We'll talk to you Monday after the bye weekend for the Razorbacks.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the fence man was my